Hey, everybody. Here we are at the All Out Blitz podcast with Jeff and Brady, bringing you what we have labeled as our episode NFL Free Agency and Trade Bonanza, because the last few days have been absolutely crazy. Let's go get into it right away. How are we doing today, Brady?
I'm doing all right, man. I got everything I need to get done with that being chores and school and all that stuff. And well, we were having a past good couple days weather-wise, and we were actually supposed to record this episode yesterday, but the fantastic weather in the old state of PA said
And the
no,
tornado
not
watch
today,
we were
fam.
in.
And the tornado watch we were in. So yeah, it's coming to the folks a little bit later than what we hoped for, but we're still here.
Yeah, it's two of us. And of course, the last episode, I was dealing with being sick. And then, of course, it went around the house. And then you had it for a few days. So we're all kind of getting over that, which is great. It is what it is. Yeah, and then the weather and all kinds of fun stuff. So it feels like we're behind, but to be honest with you, with how much has gone on, can you really be too late at this point? Because it seemed, at least for the first couple of days this week, um, it really felt like every couple of seconds something was happening. And it's not just normal news where it's like, hey, we're going to swap fifth round picks, or I'm going to give you some depth and it's going to be your fourth receiver. It is just like the coaching carousel has been this offseason. Major players shifting teams, sometimes different conference, sometimes different division, sometimes within division, which has created a lot of fun stuff on social media. I'm sure everybody that has been seeing it. It's been exciting. This has been one of the most exciting off seasons that I can remember for quite some time. You might get one big name, two big names, and two coaches, but it's absolutely crazy right now. And I'm here for every second of it.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's pretty fun. Like just getting to sit back and watch all this stuff unfold. With being a Packers fan, there's not a whole lot that usually goes down, but there's a couple of things we'll do just to make sure everything goes okay. Lost a couple of our key guys though, that always hurts. But just as a football fan, yeah, I mean, it's always fun to watch. It's always like always one of the best times of the year because it's like as soon as that Monday hits where that legal tampering starts to go down, that's
It's
when the
so dumb,
circus
by the way.
starts.
It is
So
so dumb, by the way.
yeah, man. I mean,
The
it's super
legal
exciting.
tampering period. That is just the NFL has got to get in the in the day and age, man. It's stuff is going to happen. Um, it's weird how that stuff goes down. That bit the Falcons pretty hard with Kirk. When he decided to open up his mouth when he got there immediately, how he was talking to people, and it was outside the legal tampering window. And yeah, it's crazy to think about, but here we are, and lots of good moves to talk about. The coaching stuff, of course, has calmed down as these new head coaches have started filling out their staffs. Um, all those are pretty well set, a couple of assistants and things like that coming on board. But now we are to the players. Um, Lots of free agents, lots of moving parts. I think for the most part, the guys that have been traded have been traded. And, some teams actually use the franchise tag this year and the transition tag even. So it's been pretty exciting from all aspects. Um, what do you think that the number one news bit has been? And I guarantee I know what it is, and everybody's thinking the same thing, but what do you think?
Well, yeah, we could beat on the dead horse here, but we all know what it is. If we're not just going to go with the obvious, I'll just go with the second obvious probably, and that's Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker signing with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, it's a move that nobody except Chiefs fans wanted to happen. Um, but I mean, good for him. If we're just talking about Kenneth Walker in general, good for him. He got paid like he should have, being the Super Bowl MVP. Um, I think being Kansas City, I think for Kansas City, one of the biggest things they needed was a run game, and they're going to get that with Kenneth Walker. So I just think it was a good match in the end. Like I said, it's just going to suck for every team that plays them. But I mean, if we're just talking purely needs and everything like that, I think Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs was it was a smart decision for both sides.
Yeah, I'm with you. I also like how you took it away from the obvious of Max Crosby news, but we'll get into that one. On Kenneth Walker, here's a question for you, and it's just honestly because we haven't even talked about it really. Um, Super Bowl MVP, all right, very good key piece up there in Seattle. Now shifting momentum to Kansas City. While there are clear benefits, how much better is he really than Isaiah Pacheco? And what do you think made them make that move immediately when it was just a bag all at once instead of saving a little money with Pacheco and maybe going to get somebody else? Pacheco's a heck of a
So
running back.
he is, I think, and I'm not 100% sure on this because I haven't checked his stats or anything, but I'm pretty sure Pacheco had like a down year. And it was
He
like
did.
a decently big down year. I don't know if it was because of injury or just because he just didn't have that much production. But also giving the ball to Kareem Hunt half the time definitely is going to do something. So, yeah, I mean, I just think in flat terms, I think Kenneth Walker is just better of a running back than what Isaiah Pacheco is. I mean, Isaiah Pacheco, he's no slouch. He runs like he hates the ground, like the way that he
Yes, he
runs.
does. I love
Like
it.
and speaking of Isaiah Pacheco, he's now in Detroit to be David Montgomery's
Yeah,
replacement, and I think that's
love
a
it.
fantastic fit.
Love it.
Yeah, having someone like Jahmyr Gibbs who is as versatile of a
Lightning
running
in a
back as can
bottle.
be, and then
Lightning in
you
a
get
bottle.
someone like a David Montgomery replacement with Isaiah Pacheco who just runs through somebody. That's exactly what you need. So I think Isaiah Pacheco will fit perfectly in Detroit. But yeah, I mean, I think Kenneth Walker is just I think he's just flat out better than what Isaiah Pacheco was. So I think it was pretty much I honestly figured that's probably where he was going to go if he became a free agent. And like I said, it still surprises me that Seattle didn't re-sign him, but I don't know.
Not for
Like I
that kind
said
of money.
earlier, I think it's a good fit.
I agree. It is.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
I think the Chiefs feel like if they have someone like Kenneth Walker back in the backfield, it will alleviate pressure off Mahomes, especially coming off the knee injury. How is that going to help Patrick Mahomes? Because this team and that organization still revolves around that one guy. I personally do not feel that Kenneth Walker is going to take everything off of him and allow that team to succeed without Patrick Mahomes. So to me, I feel like, well, Pacheco's a hard runner. Kareem Hunt, they were kind of a nice 1-2 punch. And it was also a fairly cheap option. I think it's kind of gutsy to go and throw that kind of money at a running back when for the past 6 years, you've been a solid passing football team.
yeah,
It
I
seems like
mean,
a shift in the dynamic.
it's certainly a risk reward kind of thing because if we're just going off the running back standard, within the next 3 to 5 years, Kenneth Walker is going to fizzle out and just be done. Because as we've seen with running backs for the past like 10 plus years, they only have till they're like 28 until they're on the bus and ready to go home. So, yeah, I mean, you look back to whenever the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, won uh, their first recent Super Bowl. So in like 20, it was the 2019 Super Bowl. It was against the 49ers the first time. They had Damian Williams, and I remember people were saying he was robbed of Super Bowl MVP because of how well that he did. So, I mean, they won a Super Bowl whenever they had a really solid run game with Damian Williams. So I'm assuming they're probably just trying to replicate that. And I would definitely say Kenneth Walker is better than what Damian Williams was, but
Yeah, for
it's just
sure.
me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, let's jump on to the number one topic in Max Crosby and the drama that has unfolded when he was supposed to go. And I'm sure you saw the other news. The original plan was for the Baltimore Ravens to pair up Max Crosby with Trey Hendrickson. That did not happen, even though Max Crosby said, "Hey, I'll see you in Baltimore," and then goes and they quote unquote blame his physical as a failure to not allow that to go through. I think that's full BS, by the way. because his
Yeah.
doctor and everyone else has come out and said, everybody knew he had surgery. He had the meniscus injury. He went in, had stuff cleaned up, got it taken care of. Everything is back on track for him to be ready for camp and OTAs and everything else. No issues whatsoever getting into the season. It was a pure cleanup fix kind of situation. It was weird to see something like that happen. But of course, the news everywhere is when that broke that evening, everybody's like, they're definitely signing Hendrickson tomorrow. And then look what happened. They signed Trey Hendrickson within like 15 hours. Weird to see that happen. And the Raiders, I haven't been able to stick in with it today to see, but they went on a buying spree to shore up that team with the thought of additional picks, with the thought of having certain cap available. Max Crosby is still a Vegas Raider.
Yeah, man. I mean, the whole situation's just nuts. I don't honestly ever remember, like, ever this happening before in the past. I remember seeing the news that whenever it broke that, oh, the Raiders tweeted out, "Oh, the Ravens have declined our trade," or whatever. And I will say I am on the side too of I think it's complete garbage too that he failed his
Yeah,
physical. I
he
think he
didn't
failed his
fail
physical
anything.
in quotations. Um, I remember seeing because do you know like how they were originally going to plan to put Max Crosby and Trey Hendrickson together? Because my first thought was, how in the world are they going to have that much money to do that? And then the Ravens GM, he did a press conference. I think it was the same day they signed Trey
Yesterday.
Hendrickson. Um, he said what their plan was is they were going to wait till Linderbaum left, and then they were going to go sign Hendrickson and then trade for Crosby, and then they were going to split that money between them two. So Tyler Linderbaum was never even a thought of being a Raven ever again, which is really weird because he's such a fantastic center. I'd probably say he's at minimum top 3 in the league. And funny enough, where does he go? He goes to Las Vegas. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely it's pretty crazy because I remember seeing, I think it was Adam Schefter tweeted out the Raiders had spent a total of $285 million with all of their free agent signings. And now you got to sign back Crosby to probably a bigger extension. So
Well,
I
at
don't
least
know.
in the short term, the extension might be able to save them a little bit of cap to keep it going. Um, but I think the Raiders, honestly, in year one, it has to be in a mode of you win it or it's a failure because they're not going to be able to keep everybody long term.
No, I mean, I will say, like this year, like this season and then next season, are very big for the Raiders' future because they are set up fantastic right now. They got all those studs in free agency. They have the number 1 overall pick. Uh, I don't even know if they have a quarterback. Maybe they have Aiden O'Connell. I'm still not sure though. Um, but oh yeah, they traded Geno Smith back to the Jets. I mean, that was a fantastic move by the Jets there. My goodness. Um, but yeah, like they're set up fantastic, especially if Fernando plays out too. I honestly think the Raiders are probably going to be trying to target Kirk Cousins. And I know I've said multiple times that, oh, it's Fernando Mendoza's a younger Kirk Cousins. And while they do give off that same vibe, I think signing Kirk's just a good idea because of his mentorship that he can have on someone that is so similar to him, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I mean, it's the whole situation, man. It's just bonkers that all this is happening. And then Max tweeted out last night that he said, "Don't believe everything you see. I'm gonna be a Raider," or something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, man,
Well, and
it's the whole
Hendrickson even
situation's nuts.
said,
I can't believe it.
Hendrickson even said in his press conference that the whole plan was for him and Crosby to get together. So they all knew what this initial plan was going to be. And it just didn't pan out for the Raiders getting cold feet or for the Ravens getting cold feet. It's just weird, but let's kind of shift and talk about the Raiders a little bit and just kind of cover the names that they have signed to make their team better. You look at guys like, if you look on the offensive line, picking up Alex Kappa and Tyler Linderbaum. Well, there's your center and your guard that you need to make your offense a little better. Um, Defensively is really where they went in. And I think part of that was to make up for the production of Max Crosby. They went and grabbed Taron Johnson from Buffalo, Nakobe Dean from Green Bay or from Philly, Quay Walker from Green Bay, Kwity Paye, Eric Stokes. They got a lot of Georgia Bulldogs now with the Raiders. Tom Brady knows how that stuff works. They have massively, massively upgraded their roster in the last 72 hours. The Raiders are going to be a team to be reckoned with. And to be honest with you, I would trade the first pick and go get draft capital. Find yourself a veteran quarterback that Tom Brady believes in and go make this thing happen because they have it right now. They have it right now.
Yeah, I mean, for the back to what I was saying earlier about like the Raiders are set up in a really good position. First things first. That AFC West division is going to be bonkers next year, to where everyone might just have a winning record, and then that division's going to be crazy. But I mean, trading the first overall pick thing, I could see where you want to go with that. I personally think I would keep it, try and get Fernando, because at the end of the day, if Tom Brady needs to trade Fernando, he's going to do it himself. So,
True.
then no one else, who
It's
else
true.
better to learn from Tom Brady than, or for Fernando to learn by than Tom Brady? But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I was the Raiders, I'd still keep the number one overall pick and just go get Fernando. I feel like it's the best thing to do is to just go and get yourself a young quarterback and not try and. I mean, you could try and get like a veteran for like a year, but the thing is like, is there going to be any rookie quarterbacks that a year after that are like better than Fernando Mendoza? And at least to my face, there's not. So, because I wouldn't take a Arch Manning or a Chamberlain or like anything like that. Like I would want Fernando over both those guys or anyone else, honestly. So
I'm going to go get Jameis Winston. That's what I'm going to do.
you can still draft Fernando and go get Jameis Winston. You could do that. Jameis will take like a $5 million contract for 1 year. So
Yeah, exactly. That's funny. Yeah, their Raiders are in a really good spot, man. That AFC West is going to be booming. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be a physical division again. It's going to be pretty interesting. But what guys you got up next you want to chat about?
there's one that just happened. I think it might have just been like a half hour ago. Um, Dre Greenlaw is signing back with the San Francisco 49ers after being released by the Denver Broncos. He signed a 1 year, I do believe, $7.5 million deal. So,
Wow.
very familiar face going there in San Francisco. Speaking of San Francisco, they acquired a piece in their offense that could probably win them the Super Bowl if they really tried. But one thing that has evaded the 49ers for a decent amount of time since, and I'm not comparing this guy to Deebo Samuel, but since Deebo Samuel was really good that 1 year, was a wide receiver. They didn't have in Brandon Ayuk because he was off doing whatever. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers released Mike Evans and later that day was picked up by the San Francisco 49ers. And I think that's a fantastic signing by the 49ers there. Mike Evans coming off of an injury where he could not break Jerry Rice's record of the most consecutive 1,000-yard seasons, but he did at least tie it. So, I mean, that's a pretty nice record to have. But with the signing in itself, I think it was a very good signing by the 49ers.
Yeah, and he's going to Jerry's team. He's going to Jerry's city to try to make something else work. It's a shame to see that Tampa wouldn't re-sign him. I mean, that's the business side of things, right? That's not good. I know there's Tampa Bay fans. My brother's a Tampa fan, upset that Mike Evans isn't there anymore. However, hey, what's the truth behind that electrical substation out there that keeps injuring guys? I'm just going to put that out there. Older guy coming off injury. We're going to see what happens out there in San Francisco, but I'm sure there's probably something to that. I do like the pickup for the Niners. It's definitely going to be I mean, Evans is clearly the best receiver they've had in a long time, even at his age. But his experience and the way that he can bring other guys together, the way that he can still move, is pretty phenomenal, to be honest with you. I'm a big Mike Evans fan. Should help Brock Purdy out. Should be his new number one. And I don't know. I don't know if it's going to take him to a Super Bowl or not, but it's definitely going to push him further in that division. Most importantly, if they stay healthy. That has been their big issue the last couple of years. They've been losing so many key players year in and year out. So if they can stay healthy, they're going to give themselves a shot.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, yeah, I agree with you there too. Of like their biggest issue has been staying healthy, and that was what I was thinking when I said I think it could take them to the Super Bowl. Is just assuming they all stay
Yeah.
healthy. With that being Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, Nick Bosa, Brock Purdy, CMC. Like it literally is all of their stars. George Kittle, like it's literally
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
their stars,
Yep.
like that get injured. And is it the whole conspiracy that, oh, it's the electrical plant nearby is sending shock waves to the field that pops their Achilles or
I
tears their
love it,
ACLs?
dude. Oh my gosh.
I
I
don't
love it.
know. But um yeah, I mean, I think that's a fantastic signing by the 49ers. Um because like I said, they need a wide receiver more than uh a whole lot of things.
Yeah, they do. Let's talk about a fun signing. A really, really fun signing of the Atlanta Falcons picking up Tua to be in their quarterback room. 2 left-handed quarterbacks. Goodness gracious, what are we thinking?
You're trying to ruin your franchise. That's what I'm thinking there. I
See,
mean, you are a lot more firmly behind Tua going to Atlanta than what I am. I think it's honestly a pretty bogus move, and I don't think it's really going to amount to anything. But I'm perfectly fine with being proven wrong. So, Tua, by all means, go for it.
here's the reason why is one, of course, they decided to release Kirk Cousins post June designation, so there's some cap savings there. They're getting Tua like bottom of the barrel kind of cheap. He has the skill level. He does. As long as the game doesn't fully rely on him. Everybody knows the Atlanta Falcons offense runs through Bijan Robinson. He didn't have a back like Bijan. Devin Achane was great. He is not Bijan Robinson. He had Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. That's great. But when you have to rely on that and your offensive line is a row of garbage cans, it's a whole different scenario. If there is one thing that is good in Atlanta is the offensive line. That will be able to be protecting him. But also to give that same stability to Penix again, I firmly believe they're going to give Penix that room to grow. Tua is there strictly as an emergency backup. So to do it super cheap while they're coming out of this cap craziness that Fontenot put them in, I think it's honestly the perfect solution. If they were going to go bring Kyler or somebody else in, I think that would have been fine as well. Wasn't going to be as cheap. They have to do something, for money situation, more importantly right now. So I don't mind the pickup. I think it's interesting. I think he can succeed there in that offense. It's going to be run heavy, smash mouth. He doesn't have to do it all himself. And again, for the dollar price, it was just right.
Yeah, like I said, if Tua wants to prove me wrong and go ball out or something like that, by all means, go for it. I seriously don't think having two left-handed quarterbacks is like when's that ever worked out for anybody. So honestly, Falcons might be the first ever quarterback room to ever do that.
Yeah, it's
So,
pretty interesting. Yeah.
an even more important Falcon signing, they brought back legendary tight end Austin Hooper.
My
Man,
gosh, it's Super Bowl now or bust.
what a
That's
time.
all I'm saying.
If this was 6 years ago,
No,
you'd be losing your mind. Man, this
dude,
is it's
when they got rid of
fantastic
him, I
news.
was upset. I mean, the fact that the Falcons released Darnell Mooney, they released Kadarius Hodge, but they go out and they grab Austin Hooper. Well, first of all, Austin Hooper is a fantastic blocking tight end. So what that signing tells me is because they franchise tag Kyle Pitts, he's finally moving out to where he belongs at a wide receiver spot, most likely. Austin Hooper will be the blocking tight end. They went and brought back Kalamide Zaccheaus. They went and signed Jahan Dotson. Now they have that speed on the outside to match up with Drake London. I think that this offense is finally going to start having an identity. It has not had an identity since Matt Ryan was there 6 years ago. They have not had an identity between the coaching staff changes, the quarterback changes. I feel like they are actually trying to build something. And the fact that they decided to go and bring in a couple of Georgia Bulldogs, which Atlanta has never wanted to do for some odd reason, bringing in Ojulari, bringing in Channing Tindall on the linebacking side of things because they had to lose Caden Ellis to the Saints of all people. That also shores up that defensive side of the ball, and I absolutely love it.
Speaking of the Saints, they've made probably one of the most underrated signings in of free agency so far, signing former Jacksonville Jaguars running back Travis Etienne. I
Yeah.
think that is a very good signing by them, especially considering that Kamara is old and has there's no current news on what's going to happen with Kamara. I do believe he's still part of the Saints roster. So whether he's going to get released, whether he's going to stay, whether he's going to get traded, no one knows. But
Retire?
Travis Etienne, I think, is a fantastic pickup.
Yeah. I mean, Kamara hasn't been the same in the last couple of years, to be honest. Between injuries and between everything else going on with the organization, he just has not been himself. I did hear some rumors that retirement may be in the picture, but I don't know. He just kind of fell off out of nowhere. But they do need a running game, especially for that second year quarterback coming back that has some experience. So I do. I think, um, they picked up something. They went and grabbed Noah Fant, went and grabbed David Edwards from Buffalo, solid guard right there for 4 years. So they went and grabbed some key pieces that they think is going to help move them forward with the limited cap that they had because they were drastically in the hole. So there wasn't a whole lot they could do, but they did maximize, I feel, what they were able to do this time around.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I think it's a fantastic signing. They needed to go get a newer, young running back who's super talented, and that's exactly what they got in Travis Etienne. Speaking of Buffalo, though, Brandon Bean actually decided to open his pocketbook, and he spent a couple dollars to go and get former Miami Dolphin Bradley Chubb on the defensive line. I am honestly torn on how I feel about it. I think like the first thing is I don't think he's going to do too well because well, he had a couple down years when he was in Miami. Then again, how can you compare Miami's defense to Buffalo's defense? I wish Buffalo's defense is 10 times more talented than Miami's defense is. So, I mean, I think in the end, I think it'll be a good signing because I do believe they lost Joey Bosa. But yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a good signing in the end of the day.
I think that is a typical Brandon Bean signing. I mean, if you think back a couple of years, they went with Von Miller, then they go with Joey Bosa. Those were all 1-2 year deals. Now they give Bradley Chubb a 3-year deal. I think he's going to excel there, especially. I mean, we don't know if that defense is going to change yet, right? That scheme. Sean McDermott was the defensive guy. So now their new defensive coordinator, if they're going to bring a new scheme in and use him differently than what we've seen in the past, it could be pretty fun. But don't forget about them going out and grabbing DJ Moore to add to that wide receiving core to elevate that even further. So I think that is absolutely fantastic. They re-signed Dawson Knox to a 3-year deal, even with Dalton Kincaid there. So they're going to keep those guys together. They are trying to keep that offense as intact as they possibly can. They did lose a couple of pieces. Um, but hey, that's the part of doing business. They also picked up D. Alford from Atlanta. Solid corner. They need defensive backfield help. They gave him a good contract. Um, yeah, man, I don't know. I was pretty excited by it. There's been a lot of salary conversions and different things being turned into bonuses for guys to free up cap space. So there's a lot going on, but uh, man, it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's kind of like boom or bust to me. That's just probably the best way that I'd put it. But in the same division, the New England Patriots with losing Stephon Diggs, they replaced one wide receiver with an even better wide receiver. Uh, Probably the number one receiver that was on the free agent market, former Green Bay Packer Romeo Dobbs, signed with the New England
Big
Patriots.
deal.
It was a
A big
very big. I
deal.
think it was like 4 years,
Four
70 million. I believe it was
four
around that
four
area.
years, $68 million.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a pretty massive deal that Romeo Dobbs got. Well deserved too. That guy was fantastic with the Packers. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a good signing because you're gonna lose Stephon Diggs, which he didn't really do anything when he was there anyways. But um, yeah, and I still feel like the Patriots are just waiting on that AJ Brown trade. I feel like they're still waiting for that, and they'd want to pair AJ Brown with Romeo Dobbs. I think that'd be a fantastic wide receiving core right there.
What I did not realize until just now, as I'm looking through these signings, is the Patriots giving a 3-year deal to Reggie Gilliam. I don't know how I didn't see that pop up. That is a killer right there for Buffalo. But the Pats also signed Elijah Vera Tucker to add to that offensive line, man, to try to shore that up for Drake May and give him a little more protection. Yeah, hey, they're on the move, man. Mike Vrabel's not a dumb guy, and he's definitely going to do what he can. They definitely went really, really far this year when nobody thought they would. So, hey, losing a Stephon Diggs but picking up a bunch of these guys, to be honest with you, is just going to make your team better.
Yeah, and I remember whenever I saw the Reggie Gilliam news too, because I hadn't seen it until I was just watching the NFL channel the one time and I saw it pop up, and I was like, why is no one talking about this? This dude's been in Buffalo his entire career, and he's a fantastic fullback.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I mean, that's an underrated signing in itself.
it is for sure. In division like that to a close rival, like that's a brutal thing right there, and you don't want to see that. I mean, that was like Caden Ellis going to the Saints. Um, Gilliam has a longer history with Buffalo than Ellis did with the Falcons, but it's something similar like that. It's crazy to think about.
Yeah, it's always weird in a sort of way to ever see like a in division player go to like a different team, kind of like Trandrickson
Yeah.
going
Yep.
from the Bengals, then going to the Ravens. Like it's always weird when something like that happens, but it's always interesting
Yeah.
just to see if it ever is like how big of a game changer it could actually be. So a couple of pieces of news I could just go over quick. Rashid Shaheed re-signed with the Seattle Seahawks, 3-year, $51 million. Travis Kelsey announced he's coming back for one more year to play with the Chiefs. I think that was kind of a given, considering the fact they're probably going to go and get Tyreek Hill back at some point whenever he gets uh, healthy enough. That's yeah. I mean, I figure we all kind of figured that would probably happen. Tariq Woolen signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. That's definitely an interesting piece of news right there. Tariq Woolen being probably the biggest cornerback name on the market, goes and signs with the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, I think that's fantastic signing. Go and pair him with Cooper DeJean and Quinion Mitchell. That's pretty scary cornerback room for the Philadelphia Eagles there.
Yep. That absolutely is. Seattle lost a lot of pieces in this offseason coming off that Super Bowl win when you really look at it.
Yeah, they
Defensively,
did.
offensively, guys were moving. It's going to be interesting to see how they come out of that.
Yeah, they did. I mean, it's pretty nuts to see how many people they actually lost. Like losing, and the thing is too is they're all important people, like who they lost as
Yes.
well. Like
Yep.
Kenneth Walker. What was gonna be Rashid Shaheed, but they spent the money to go get him back. Tariq Woolen was another one like that. There's probably a whole bunch more I can name, but I just don't can't remember them at the moment.
A lot of it,
But
I believe, I'm trying to look it up real quick, but a lot of it was on the defensive side of the ball.
yeah. Onto the because we've been talking about signings for like a pretty good amount of time here. There are a couple trades that honestly really caught my eye whenever they happened. Like one that caught me by complete surprise. Michael Pittman of the Indianapolis Colts gets traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That came in out of nowhere. And I remember telling you this. I'm like, this trade just came in from left field because I was never even heard Michael Pittman's name once come up in the entirety of, oh, he could possibly get traded. But, and with this as well, with, um, was it Michael Pierce? I think is what his name might be.
Alec Pierce.
Alec Pierce. That's what it is. Yeah. What, Alec Pierce getting his giant deals, like 4 years, $100+ million, which is a crazy deal. Yeah. I mean, they didn't, I think simply put, just didn't have the money to keep Michael Pittman. So they traded him to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And like I said, that one was just crazy to me.
Yeah.
I'm also
You can't be
realizing,
the Bengals. You cannot be the Bengals and pay 2 wide receivers over $100 million and expect to have a solid football team. And the Colts know that. And they felt Alec Pierce was going to be the better benefit for the Indianapolis Colts. I am curious, and I said this to you because of the news around, not sure if they actually like DK Metcalf in Pittsburgh. I potentially think that could be a draft night deal. Let's trade DK Metcalf for a pick. With going to get Michael Pittman like that, that's a solid receiver that's going to go and put his head through a wall for you and not give you all the drama and baggage that comes along with it, like a DK Metcalf. So I would keep my eye open for that too.
yeah, and I've been a fan of Michael Pittman ever since he came out of college, just because this
Yeah,
dude
you
is
have.
a very silent worker. Like, you go look at his stats, he puts up solid numbers every single year, and you never hear his name in drama. So it's, yeah, I mean, the dude's a freaking workhorse. I think he's going to be a very good trade there for Pittsburgh, with only getting like a late round pick swap as well included for Michael Pittman. So Pittsburgh didn't even give up a lot to go get him. I'm also now realizing, because we haven't talked about any of this at all yet, the first big trade that happened, Trent McDuffie of the Kansas City Chiefs gets traded to the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah.
That was crazy whenever that happened, because mind you, McDuffie's what, like 26, 27 maybe? Like,
He's a young guy.
that's what I mean. Like, that, I remember when that happened, I was like, dude, that is an insane trade.
Yeah. It's, you normally, especially at the corner position, you normally do not see those guys get traded a whole lot when they're at his level. So I think it's, what did they get for him? I'm trying to remember.
The Chiefs
They
got
gave up a bunch of
a
picks.
2026 fifth-round pick, a 2026 sixth-round pick, 2027 third-round pick, and the 29th overall pick this year.
So the Rams lost a lot of their picks for this coming draft. So clearly they feel like they are one or two pieces away. And I tend to agree, to be honest with you. They were awfully close to the Super Bowl this year. And the defense was definitely the defensive backfield, I should say, was definitely a sore spot for them.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, like, it's a good trade, I think. You have a fantastic offense with Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. Like, you have an offense with that many guys. The only thing you'd probably need to fix is the defense. And I mean, when you let up the amount of points you did to Seattle in the NFC Championship, the defense is probably the issue there. So going and getting a cornerback that's like Trent McDuffie, who I would probably say is a top 5 cornerback in the league, that's a fantastic trade. Moving on to different kinds of trades, kind of like a Green Bay to Dallas pipeline here. Before the season started last year, Micah Parsons gets traded to the Packers. This year, Rashawn Gary gets traded to the Cowboys. Um, I don't know how that's going to work out, honestly. It seemed like whenever Rashawn Gary got traded, not a lot of Packers players were really saying anything. Like, not even kind of like a wishing them like, oh yeah, man, hey, good luck with your next team, man. Like, it's, people seem to be pretty quiet about it. So there's been some whispers here and there that something was going on with Rashawn Gary when he was there in Green Bay, and that's, he kind of got booted out of Green Bay. So it's an interesting scene there. Um, One trade that I think is not gonna matter at all, and I remember you honestly kind of laughed whenever it happened, was Minka Fitzpatrick got traded from the Miami Dolphins to the New York Jets. First thing you said to me was, man, they're really trying to go get that interception, aren't they? and I couldn't
Yeah,
agree more.
yeah. It's the Jets are I will say that is an Aaron Glenn kind of guy. Um However, I just don't I don't know. What is it? 3-year, $40 million? Like I don't know. They also went so the Jets went and got Minka. They also went and signed Nashawn Wright, um, formerly of Chicago. So there's a corner there. So they're trying to add pieces as they can to that side to make sure the defense, you know, doesn't flop, I'll just say, this year. Um, and they added more to the defense, like David Onyemata and Demario Davis and all that kind of stuff. Again, because they saw how terrible the defense truly, truly was last year. So I can see with Aaron Glenn being the head coach, going defensive first this year, it makes perfect sense. Um, Minka, I think, is in that stage of his career, I think, as a free safety where he can float and go grab the ball. It's a good spot. But outside of that, I don't have too much hope for him.
I mean, it's definitely a good signing for the Jets, I think. Like, for the Jets personally, it's a good signing to go and get someone like a Minka Fitzpatrick and have him hovering over in the back and making the quarterbacks think twice over the football. But I think with going and getting Minka and then going and trading for um, Tavondre Sweat from the Titans, I think they're slowly building something there. And you also got to remind yourself they have what is it, 2 first rounders this year, then 3 first rounders next year in the draft. So they're really
Yep.
trying to build a young team. I think that's definitely what they're doing. I think they're 110% in the rebuild mode right now, along with the Raiders. And I think the future of the Jets is going to look a lot better than what the current state of the Jets is going to.
Yeah, for sure.
So the only um I'm kind of getting to like the tail end here of all the people I could really talk about, mainly just because I mean, there's been a whole bunch of signings and like
It's crazy.
there's been a whole bunch
We'll
of them,
give
but there's
we'll give a quick shout out. If you guys don't know, go out to spotrac.com, spotrac.com. I mean, you'll see it all over the place, whether it be social media, ESPN, whatever you watch. It's a fantastic site to go check out all the NFL transactions. You can sort it by just about anything you want. So if you are curious or interested, and you're like, you know what, there's way too many notifications and there's way too much stuff to look at, they got everything in one spot for you, and it's free. So enjoy.
yeah. But like I was saying, um there's only like so many more free agents that are like notable talking about because like you were saying about Spotrac, it's a fantastic website that tells you like literally every single thing that's happened within free agency that like not the big media outlets even talk about. Biggest one that happened today probably was Jonathan Allen signs with the Cincinnati Bengals. That's a fantastic signing for them. They got him for pretty cheap, 2 years, 26 million. He's old, but he's still got some gas left in the tank. And I mean, putting him on the interior D line right there is definitely going to disrupt some things for the Cincinnati defense.
Yeah, I think it was a solid pick. I mean, you gotta make up for something somewhere, losing Hendrickson, right? You're not getting it on the edge with Jonathan Allen, but um, stop in the middle right there, guys. I mean, that's that's gonna be absolutely solid. So he definitely has stuff in the tank. He's one of those guys that has a high motor, doesn't quit. I really like that pickup for Cincinnati.
Absolutely. And the final one for me, at least, you can always keep tossing your free agents. You think toss them in. Final one for me though would be Rashad White, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, signing with the Washington Commanders. I think that's a fantastic signing there to go uh, put him with Krosky Merritt. I think having that 1-2 combo in the running back room right there, I think that is a fantastic signing for the Commanders.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's teams that are just making moves. It's pretty crazy. I mean, yeah, you also have Garrett Bradbury that went from New England to Chicago to be their new center. I think that's a solid pickup for the Bears. Another one I would take a look at, which hasn't been signed yet, David Njoku from the Browns, designated for a post-June 1st release by Cleveland. I fully expect and believe if the Falcons cannot get a deal done with Kyle Pitts, he will be gone. They will go sign David Njoku and team him up with Austin Hooper. Either way, it's pretty solid, to be honest with you. But there's a lot of guys that I think you're going to see over time as these Cleveland Brown players start getting to other organizations. It was not a coaching problem with Kevin Stefanski, and that is not me being a Falcons homer. That is saying that is just a messed up organization right now, to be able to pull stuff together. So some of these guys, quality football players, looking forward to seeing how they turn out elsewhere. But that's another guy designated for a post-June release. Still got a lot in the tank, I'm sure. He's been killing it all the time. So looking forward to that guy.
Yeah, and I mean, if that does happen, you already got the instant connection of Austin Hooper and David Njoku, who are both in Cleveland together, I do believe.
Yep.
So him with
Absolutely.
Stefanski, yeah, I mean, I think that would honestly, if you do lose Kyle Pitts, that's a very good replacement.
Yeah. I would love because you know who I didn't talk about? My boy Tyler Algier got paid. Super happy for him. Right back up for Bijan. Where did he end up going?
Arizona.
Texan? Arizona. That's right. Good for him. He's gonna do great things out there. He's such a phenomenal running back. Again, if I am Atlanta looking for that backup spot, I'm going to sign a cheaper Nick Chubb to bring back with Stefanski, put him right behind Bijan. Excellent combination of guys right there. Great choice to go bring him back in.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I know you went on personal reasons too, with him being a Georgia
Go
Bulldog.
dogs. Go
So,
dogs.
but yeah, I mean, I even me, even me being like, 'cause I do like the Falcons, but I wouldn't consider myself a Falcons fan. I think that would be a pretty good signing, honestly. Like just having Bijan, who it's a similar situation to what Detroit is, honestly. You have the fantastic running back that is Bijan Robinson. I mean, that dude is the best running back in the league right now. And then you have someone who can take the weight off of his shoulders and just go run through someone's face with Nick Chubb. So, yeah, I mean, I think that would be a pretty fantastic signing if that were to happen.
Definitely. Well, that's all I got. I mean, it's been absolutely crazy. It's been nonstop here for the last 45 minutes that we've just been going through all these different things. And gosh, we didn't even get through half of them. But that is the absolute craziness and bonanza, we'll call it, of what has happened this week with free agency and trade opening up. Now that the new league year has officially started, honestly, I don't expect this to slow down. You got, the combine's over. This stuff has now kicked off. The draft is at the end of April. Like, we are raring to go, and there's going to be bits and pieces throughout this next month and a half that we're going to keep talking about. We're going to start diving into some mock drafts here in the next couple of episodes. If we get brave enough, we'll see if we could do one live. We'll just see what happens. But looking forward to that too. Mock draft stuff starting to come around. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anything else on your end, kid?
Uh, no, I mean, like I said, we went over everything we needed to go over, honestly. And yeah, I'm looking forward. We are now uh, getting closer and closer to draft day, one of our personal favorite days of the year.
Draft day. It is draft day. Awesome. Absolutely love it. But well, hopefully everybody has enjoyed. Hopefully you're all staying safe and healthy and happy out there. From us here at the All Out Blitz podcast. God bless and peace out.